And starting off this row is The Exorcist and the two sequels to The Exorcist, which neither of those are good. Exorcist 2, The Heretic, and Exorcist 3, which is okay, but still, I could probably go the rest of my life without ever watching those sequels again, but The Exorcist is one of my all-time favorite horror movies, one of the only horror movies, along with The Blair Witch Project, that I actually find scary. After the Exorcist films, I have my John Carpenter collection. Gotta have the John Carp collection, plus the Halloween films, which I got a bunch of cool, releases of, like the first 5 Halloween films, Anchor Bay releases. I also have this really random box set here that comes with 2 Halloween films and 2 Hellraiser films. Really like that box set. The rest of my Hellraiser / Clive Barker collection. And then it just kind of goes into some random horror at the end. American Werewolf in London, American Werewolf in Paris, horrible sequel. The Howling 2 and 3, Fright Night, Reanimator trilogy, House, Manhunter, Blair Witch box set at the very end there, and right before that, Night of the Demons, and a few of my Peter Jackson films. Bad Taste, Dead Alive, love both of those films, but let's move on to down here. This is a row of just slasher films. Really love this row here. Starts off with Friday the 13th. This is my Friday the 13th box set. Comes with the hockey mask. This is a really rare DVD box set. I know I've seen it on eBay going for a lot of money. It's a pretty cool set, but it's a pain in the ass to get into, so I barely ever watch that set. I mean, I have the Friday the 13th films. I have another box set, so I usually go for that box set, or I have this Friday the 13th box set too, which is a newer one that I picked up at Walmart for 20 bucks. Just a really good box set to get all the Friday the 13th films for cheap. I have some separate releases of the Friday films, and then after that, it's just all my other slasher films. I got Black Christmas, the 2 When a Stranger Calls films, plus the remake for that, Alice Sweet Alice, Maniac, Prom Night. I got the My Bloody Valentine, plus the remake, Sleepaway Camp box set. That's the 4-disc one, really sweet box set there. And just some more slashers there. Got the Child's Play box set, really cool. The I Know What You Did Last Summer box set, another really sweet set there. And that is it for like the slasher films there. I mean, I have other slasher films in my collection, like Halloween and stuff, but those are mixed in with other chunks of my collection, as you guys saw. But let's move on to here. And I would say this is sort of my campy horror collection. I have a lot of vintage horror movies here, older ones, plus a lot of B movies and stuff like that. Up here is just some of my random older horror films that I didn't have enough room to fit in the first row there. So I have some silent films, old Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde film, couple Vincent Price films there, and then this goes into my midnight movie collection. These are all my midnight movie releases. I have a bunch of them there, so I'm not going to list them all off. And over here is my Shout Factory Roger Corman collection releases. I have I think about 8 or 10 of those. Don't feel like counting them right now, but you guys can count them if you want. And got some really cool releases there. Love Death Race 2000. Love this series of DVDs there, and I plan to pick more up. I buy them whenever I see them. Really, I don't really go out of my way to collect those, but if I see them, I pick them up. Some more random horror stuff. Got a couple Boris Karloff films. Targets, which was one of Karloff's last films. Really good. Spider Baby is a great film. It has Lon Chaney Jr. in it. Dracula vs. Frankenstein also has Lon Chaney Jr. in it, but that is not a classic film at all. Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. Just a lot of exploitation, B movies at the end here, you know. Right at the end here, I have some like 80s movies too, like Gremlins and Monster Squad. So just a bunch of stuff here. Just had to kind of figure out the best way to organize the rest of those. So that's a cool row there, and that's basically the end of the horror stuff. And down here we have all my science fiction movies. So I got Metropolis, got my King Kong collection. I love the King Kong films. One of my favorite movies of all time is the original King Kong, and I tried to pick up every King Kong movie ever put out. I have most of them. I'm just missing the sequel to the 70s King Kong film, which I actually do have on VHS, but I don't have that one on DVD. It's a little bit hard to find. Alright, after that I got my Godzilla box set. Love that box set. Comes with most of the early Godzilla films, the Planet of the Apes series, Star Wars box set, gotta have that. Alien box set, gotta have that. After that is a box set of every cut of Blade Runner. Again, Blade Runner, one of my favorite films. Really cool box set there. Then it goes into my David Cronenberg collection. Got Scanners 1, 2, and 3. Videodrome basic release and Criterion release, which I also have the Criterion release on Blu-ray right there if you guys can see it. Get back over here now, and then after my David Lynch collection, just some more random sci-fi films, kind of more like 80s ones. You got Terminator, Highlander, RoboCop, all classic science fiction action films. Love those movies there. And over here, the sci-fi collection continues over. I got some of my older sci-fi films, The Thing, Them, Forbidden Planet, one of my favorite old school sci-fi films, Charlton Heston in the Omega Man, and Soylent Green, classic cheesy 70s sci-fi films there. And then that's where the sci-fi collection ends and kind of the rest of my stuff happens. So got Citizen Kane, one of my favorite dramas, I guess, really well done film. Stanley Kubrick films, Live Stanley Kubrick, got most of his films on DVD there. Got some Terry Gilliam films here, Monty Python, Holy Grail, Brazil, Time Bandits, David Lynch. Love David Lynch's films too. Quentin Tarantino, Rambo box set. Love the first Rambo film, First Blood. It's one of my favorite non-horror movies. Got my Elvira stuff. I got the 2 Elvira movies, plus all the Shout Factory collections of her old TV show. Really great collections there. My Goosebumps releases, and my Tales from the Dark Side collection. One of my favorite horror anthology shows. And then stacked up here are just some of my stuff that I couldn't fit on the shelf. Over here I got, excuse me, some of my Blondie DVDs, some random films, Repo Man, River's Edge, both of those are really good. SpongeBob, seasons 1, 2, and 3, one of my favorite cartoons. And then up on top here, which is hard to see, are some of my Christmas and holiday special releases. Grinch Stole Christmas, Charlie Brown Christmas, Garfield Holiday Collection, Jingle All the Way, Miracle on 34th Street, The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror set, and at the very top here, Power Rangers movie, one of my favorite nostalgic movies ever. Alright, so last but certainly not least for this video is just going to be me going through my Steelbook collection for you guys. And I've never really showed my Steelbook collection off good, but I'll try to give you guys the best look I can give you guys of it right now. So here we go. Right over here is my Mondo Steelbooks. You cannot see them, sort of. I got Reservoir Dogs, Highlander, and Ghost in the Shell. After that is my Synapse Steelbook releases. Trying my best to give you guys the best lighting here. Alright, I think this is going to be how we have to do it. So I got my Synapse Steelbooks releases. Got the Suspiria Steelbooks that they just put out. That is one of the best Steelbooks I've ever seen in my life. Tenebrae, Phenomena, the 2 Demons Steelbooks. Next up are my Arrow Video Steelbooks. These are probably my prized thing in my collection. I just love the Arrow Video Steelbooks. I got the Beyond, Tenebrae, Phenomena, Inferno, Black Sunday, Blood and Black Lace, Phantom of the Paradise, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Driller Killer, Bride of Reanimator, and Hellraiser. So glad to have all these. Got the Hellraiser one for Christmas, haven't even opened it yet. After that, I got 2 of the Scream Factory John Carpenter steelbooks. Plan on collecting all of those. So far, I only have Escape from New York and They Live. Anchor Bay steelbooks, The Evil Dead, Lords of Salem, which I actually thought was alright. It Follows, which I thought was really good. And then here is just kind of some of my other random horror steelbooks. I got Night of the Living Dead. I think that was a Zavvi exclusive or a UK exclusive. Dracula, Prince of Darkness, Hammer Film, another copy of Evil Dead. And at the very end here is the 88 Films release of the Toxic Avenger, which I showed you guys all my Toxic Avenger figures there. So pretty sweet stuff there. Love that steelbook. Picked that up at a convention. Alright, so down here, a little bit hard to see, are the Universal Monsters steelbooks that were Best Buy exclusives. I have almost all those, and I plan on collecting all of those. The new Mummy Tom Cruise movie, bought the steelbook of that at Target because I usually pick up most of Target's steelbook exclusives, especially if they're like horror related, but I have not watched that yet. I have some of these pop art steelbooks that were really common about like 5-6 years ago. You would see these a lot in stores. I liked these, and I picked up a good amount of them. As you guys can see, I got Psycho, American Werewolf in London, which I think was actually my first steelbook I ever picked up. It was either American Werewolf in London or the Anchor Bay Evil Dead release. But let's move on. I have some of the Universal Blu-ray DVD comic book art 2-packs, which you guys have probably seen. The King Kong one, that's the Peter Jackson's King Kong. And I have some of the Best Buy pop art releases. Dr. Strangelove, Kubrick film, Taxi Driver. I got 3 of the Resident Evil steelbooks they put out, and the Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 pop art steelbooks. And I think those are actually the 2 best steelbooks that they put out in that series so far. They just look really good. Power Rangers movie steelbook, that's the new Power Rangers movie. Down here, again, sorry about the lighting, guys. Nothing I can do about that. But over here are all the Star Wars steelbooks, which I'm sure you guys have seen anyway. And I also have the steelbook for The Force Awakens and Rogue One. Definitely got to get the steelbook for the new Star Wars movie when that comes out. Got a bunch of Batman steelbooks, 2 of the Tim Burton films, 2 of the Christopher Nolan films. Suicide Squad, haven't seen that yet. I pick up pretty much any of these DC steelbooks that they put out. If Target puts them out, I pick them up because I go to Target a lot. I see a steelbook, I buy it. I'm a simple man, what can I say? The Two-Face one, that was actually a Best Buy exclusive, but the rest of these are all Target exclusive, all the Batman and DC cartoons. And I've seen about half of these that I have in the collection here, and most of those are actually pretty good. This is the rest of my superhero steelbooks, X-Men, Deadpool. Still haven't seen that yet. I know I'm slacking. Then my Christmas steelbooks, Christmas Story, my favorite Christmas film, Christmas Vacation, Scrooge, a Home Alone 2-pack that Best Buy put out. It's my last row of steelbooks, just pretty much whatever is left over. At the very start here, which is hard to see, I have a Blade Runner steelbook that I got off eBay a while back. That one's actually really hard to find. And yeah, basically the rest of the stuff here, try to go through those quick for you guys. Edward Scissorhands Flatliners. I thought it was really weird that Mill Creek put out a steelbook, especially like a nice quality one. I wonder if they plan on doing more of that. The Martian, Independence Day, another steelbook for Ghost in the Shell, Space Jam. Just basically just the rest of my steelbooks there. And very last for this video at the bottom here are my digibooks, which I have a small digibook collection, but I hope that one day have a whole row of digibooks. I don't collect them as much as I do steelbooks, but if I see one, especially for a movie that I like, I pick it up. Got the Alien Covenant one, the Blade Runner one, which is really hard to find, King Kong, Clockwork Orange, Doctor Strangelove again, Willy Wonka, Poltergeist, Ghostbusters 1 and 2, and Little Shop of Horrors. But alright guys, that was this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, definitely give it a big thumbs up or leave a comment. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I do plan on doing more videos for you guys, but they're just not going to be as often as they used to because I don't have the same amount of time I used to have to make the videos. But I'm still going to try my best to get good videos out for you guys. So, you know, keep supporting the channel, letting me know that you want to see more videos and stuff like that, and I'll definitely be posting some more stuff up. So, alright, thanks again for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time.